Hi guys, we're still doing elasticity. So we've done two types of elasticity so far, the price elasticity of demand and the price elasticity of supply. Now we're doing the income elasticity of demand. So elasticity is a measure of the responsiveness of a change in the dependent variable to a change in the independent variable. So independent variable, your dependent variable, it can be your quantity, and then your independent variable, it can be your price or the determinant of demand or the determinant of supply. So here we're doing income elasticity of demand. So the independent variable that we're going to be focusing on is income, the income of the consumers. So, we know that, remember from the previous chapters that the quantity demanded of a product, it depends on the consumers of the income. So the quantity which is demanded of the product, it depends on the income of the consumers. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if the income of the consumers was increasing or was to increase, the quantity which is demanded would also increase because now they have more disposable income, right? So they can use that income in the consumption of goods and services. And also, if the income were to decrease, the quantity demanded will also decrease. Understand? So what I'm talking about, basically, just to show it in a graph. I hope this is clear. To say, this is your supply, this is your demand. So I'm saying the income of the, oh no, let me just write in the underneath slide because it is white. Yeah, so and then I'm trying to, yeah, and then let me remove this. Okay, so we're saying the quantity demanded of a product, it depends on the income of the consumers. So this is what I mean. So you have your demand, then you have your supply curve like this. So this is your D, this is your S. So if let's say the income of the consumers was increasing, so the quantity demanded will shift to the side. Okay, let me just use a different color. So if the demand for if the income from our consumers were to increase, the demand curve would shift, right? It would shift to your right, indicating that there's an increase in the demand. And then because now consumers have more disposable income and they're demanding more goods and services, the price will increase in order to try and discourage their consumption. So the price will increase from P to P1 here. And then the quantity also will increase from Q to Q1 here. You understand? So, yeah. And then the question now, since we're doing the income elasticities of demand, is by how much will the quantity demanded change due to a change in income? Remember, so when consumers had this, when they had 50 Rand, let me say, when the income of the consumers was 50, the quantity which was demanded was this quantity here. And then when the income increased to 100 Rand, the quantity which was now demanded is this one here. Understand? And then now in doing this topic, income elasticity of demand, we are trying to determine by how much will the quantity demanded change due to a change in income? By how much? So we wanted to determine the extent of change, the magnitude of change. Just like how we're doing in the price elasticity of supply and the price elasticity of demand, we wanted to determine the magnitude of change. Even here, we're still looking at the magnitude of change, but now we're focusing on the if there's a change in the income, what will be the magnitude of change in the quantity which is demanded? Yeah. So this information of income elasticity of demand is very important for especially our suppliers, because our suppliers, they always want to know what will happen, what will happen to the quantity demanded of a good if the income was increasing. So if the income of the consumers was increasing, what will happen to the quantity which is demanded of that good? Already they know Veluguti, if the income is increasing, our quantity demanded, we're going to demand more. Fine, they know that. But by how much? By how much? That is what we're going to be trying to determine here. And in order to know by how much, we'll then have to calculate the income elasticity of demand. The income elasticity of demand, elasticity, we already know, Guti. Elasticity, it is the responsiveness or the sensitivity. It's a measure of the responsiveness or the sensitivity of a dependent variable, which is our quantity demanded, to a change in the independent variable, or which is our price or a determinant of demand and supply. In this case, it's income, which is one of the determinant of demand. So they're saying here, responsiveness of quantity demand if there's a change in income, denoted by Y. So if you see Y, that is just income. The income elasticity of demand, EY, also means elasticity, income elasticity, measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to changes in income. So we're measuring the responsiveness of the quantity which is demanded to a change in income. So the formula is a percentage change in quantity demanded of the product divided by the percentage change in consumer income. And to calculate the change, to calculate the change, you say Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1. I've been saying this. And then to calculate the change in income, you're going to say Y2 minus Y for income, Y1 divided by Y1. And then Y1. And then you get your answer for the change in consumer income. Then you get your answer for the change in quantities demanded. Then you divide the answers. Then you get your final answer here. So if you get your final answer to be positive, you might get your answer to be positive. You might get your answer to be negative. You might get your answer here to be 0 when you're calculating income elasticity of demand. So if you get your answer to be positive, it means ukuthi that good is a normal good. Normal goods are those goods that consumers, I'm just gonna write in, are those goods that if the consumer's income increase, then the quantity demanded for those goods also increase. We said those goods are normal goods. And then if you get your answer to be negative, it means that good is an inferior good. Just gonna write I here. Inferior goods are those goods that if your income increases, the quantity demanded for those goods will decrease. And then if you get 0, then those goods, it means no, I'm mistaking this with cross elasticity. There's no 0 here. It's either you get a positive or a negative number. Yeah. And then, okay, let's go and look at the next slide. So far we understand income elasticity of demand. You basically we want to measure the responsiveness of the change in the quantity demanded to a change in income. And then this is the formula, which is a change in quantity demanded, which is Q2 minus Q1 over Q1, divided by percentage change in consumer's income, which is P2, which is Y2 minus Y1 over Y1. So income elasticity of demand may be positive or negative. So when you're doing your calculations here, you may get a positive number or a negative number when you're trying to calculate your income elasticity of demand. So if you get a positive number, it means that that good is a normal good. And I've already mentioned to say, Guti, normal goods are those goods that, excuse me, if there's an increase in income, the quantity demanded of that good also increase. And then you can also get your income elasticity of demand to be negative. And then if it is negative, it means ukuthi that is an inferior good. Inferior goods are goods that if there's an increase in income, there would be a decrease in the quantity demanded of that good. So I usually in the previous thingy chapters, if you've watched my videos, you'll know that I use the example of an inferior good I use my restaurants, and sorry, a normal good I use my restaurants, and for inferior goods I used ikota that you guys normally buy at a boss mic. I'm sure if I'm pronouncing that right. So a boss makoda. So because if you, let's say, if you receive your allowance, let's say okay now because you don't have money. Yeah, I'm not saying guys you don't have money, but like because you haven't received your allowance, you're just consuming amakota whenever you you have that 30 rand or 20 rand, you go and buy a quota. But as soon as you get your allowance, you will then go to a restaurant, perhaps, yabo. And then so that will mean ukuthi a restaurant is a normal good because if your income increase, the quantity demanded for that product will increase. You understand? Because if you get your allowance, you then go to a restaurant. So your demand for the restaurant increase now because you have your allowance, now because your income has increased. Same thing with the inferior good. Your inferior good is a order that you purchase at Boss Mike. If you receive your allowance, you will not purchase a good. You would want to go to a restaurant, meaning that for inferior goods, if your income increases, the demand for that good decrease. You understand? Because it is an inferior good value. So, our normal goods, there are two types of normal goods. We have normal luxury good and normal essential goods. So, remember I said here, if you do your calculations and you get a positive number, then it's a normal good. Sharp. Okay, that's okay. But also you have to look at um where does that answer you get fall. So let's say you get your answer and it is greater than one. So you get two. When you're doing your calculations of price elasticity of demand, you get an answer which is two. Then it means ukuthi, because two is positive, then it is a normal good. But what type of normal good? It's a luxury good with an elastic demand because the number you got is greater than one. So what if now you get a number which is 0.5 after an answer njalo which is 0.5 after calculating your income elasticity of demand? So that would tell you it's okay because 0.5 is positive, it's a normal good. But then normal, luxury, or normal essential. So 0.5 is between 1 and 0. So it is an essential good with an inelastic demand. You understand? And then also, if you just get a negative number, doesn't matter if it's yeah, you just look at it as a sign. If it's a negative, it's automatically an inferior good and it has an inelastic demand. So you come here. So this is here they're just showing you witty. You can use this table. So I want to add something here. So here you have an add negative and here an add positive. So you get your answer. Firstly, I use an example of two. So you get two. You come here, two is positive, so it's a normal good. And then what type of normal good? So you say it was okay. Okay, so let me just write this first. Here we have elastic. Then between 1 and 0, we have inelastic. Let me just write all the categories of price elasticity of demand in J just. So here we have perfectly, as much as here we only focus on inelastic and elastic, I just want to write them all in J. Perfectly inelastic. Then one, we have units. Just gonna write U, and then infinity here, we have perfectly elastic. Okay, so you come here, your answer you got for your price elasticity. So for your income elasticity of demand was 2. So 2 is positive, so it's a normal good. But what type of normal good? Is it a necessity or a luxury? 2 is greater than 1, 1 is here. So it's a luxury good. And then meaning that it's a luxury good with the what? With an elastic demand. Same, you get a negative um no, okay, you get a negative 2 straight in. You see a negative number, it's an inferior good. An inferior good has a what? An inelastic demand. Because the negative sign is this side. It's this side. So also if you get 0.5, made an example with 0. Okay, let me just say 0.2. 0.2 is less than 1, so we're looking at this side. So this is positive. Already we know it's a normal good. But what type of a normal good? Because it's 0, because the figure is 0, the income elasticity of demand is 0.5. So this tells us that it's a necessity, an essential good. And then which has what's an inelastic demand. Yeah, I hope you guys are able to do this. We're trying to remove. Yeah. Then so we move on to the next slide. Okay, we're done with the income elasticity of demand. Now we're doing the question. They say here, when Andile's income was 100 Rand, his demand for good A was 40 units. Now that his income is 120, his quantity demanded rose to 60. So, but when his income was 100 Rand, so this is Y1. It's going to write Y1 here. Y1. His demand for good A was 40. So this is Q. This is Q1. Now that his income is 120, so this is Y2. I'm just going to write 2. His quantity demanded rose to 60. This is Q2. You know the formula to calculate income elasticity of demand. It's the change in quantity demanded to a change in price. I'm just going to write here with him. It's a change in quantity demanded to a change in income. Sorry, I said price, income. So, oh no, I forgot percentage changes. It's the percentage change in quantity demanded to the what? To the percentage change in income, denoted by Y. Your income is denoted by Y. So here we've been given the quantities. So let's just do the calculations. So you know that change in quantity demanded is Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1. So let's do that. So our Q2 is 60 units minus our Q1 is 40 divided by Q1, which is 40, all over. A change in income, the income was 100 Rand, it's increased to 420. So Q2 is 120 minus your Q1 was 100 Rand, divided by Q1, which is 100 Rand. So now you just want to say divided by like that. And then you just punch in your calculator to say 60 minus 40 minus 40 divided by 40 divided by 120 minus 100 divided by 100. Okay, so I'm getting minus 4,25. It's just that I don't remember getting this answer before. Okay, let me just do it step by step. Maybe my calculator has a problem. So let me just say 60 minus 40 divided by 40. I'm getting 0,5. So just gonna write here. So the percentage change in quantity is 0,5, 0,5, and then 120, 120 minus 100 divided by 100. I'm getting 0,2, 0,2, and then 0,5 divided by 0,2. Yeah, 2,5. I knew something was not okay. So your answer then becomes what's 2,5? 2, comma 2,5. So that is your final answer. And then let's just interpret here, even though they didn't say we should interpret, but then let's just explain then what type of good is it going to be, and is it going to be inelastic? Does it have an inelastic demand, or does it have an elastic demand? So we see this is positive. Okay, let me just write the table. And let me just not write it, J. We'll just go back to that one. So we see we have 2,5 and 2,5 is positive. So already this is telling us that this is a what? This is a normal good, right? But is it is it a luxury good, or is it a necessity? So 2,5 is greater than 2. Sorry, is greater than 1. So this good is a luxury good. Let's go here just to confirm, because I didn't want to write that this table. So we got 2,5, right? So 2,5 already, we know what it's positive, so it is a normal good. You come here, you take. And then 2,5 is greater than 1. So it is this side, meaning that it is a luxury good. And um we know that here we have elastic, and elastic wood, their price elasticity of demand is greater than 1 for elastic good. So this good has an elastic demand. Yeah. So you can conclude to say, okay, 2,5, this good is a normal good. It's a luxury normal good. It has an elastic demand. Then you come here, you do the second question. So they say here, again, Andile's income was 100 rand and the demand for a bus was 200. So let me just say it's okay. The income was 100 rand. I want to say Y1. This is going to be Y1. And his demand for the bus was 200. So this is going to be Q1. Now that his income is 120, so this is Y2. He is buying 180 tickets. This is Q2. Also, we come here to the formula for calculating the price elasticity, sorry, the income elasticity of demand. It's a change in quantity demanded over change in income. So the percentage change in the quantity, it was 120, it was 200, now it's 180. So you're gonna say new minus old. So Q2 minus Q1, which is 200, divided by Q1, which is 200, all over Y2 minus Y1. Your Y2 is 120. Y2 is 120 minus your Y1 is 100 rand. divided by your y1, which is 100. And then you punch in your calculator. So I'm going to start with the numerator because if I just punch it all in the calculator, I don't get the correct answer. So 180 minus 200 divided by 200, I'm getting negative 0.5. So the numerator is negative 0.5 divided by your income. Your income is 120 minus 100 divided by 100. Your change in income, I mean. So it's 0.2, so 0.2. So your change in quantity, which is demanded, is minus 0.5, and your change in income is 0.2. So negative 0.5 divided by 0.2, you get negative 2.5. So your answer here is minus 2.5. We don't even have to go to the table. Already we know what this is. There's a negative sign here, so this code is an inferior code. But we can just go this side to just confirm. So, okay, I didn't indicate. So here we have a negative, here we have a positive. So because that code has a negative, it's negative 2.5. So it is what? It's an inferior code with the what? With an inelastic demand. Because we know go to inelastic, the price elasticity of demand is less than 1. And this code isn't this side. It is less than 1. So it has an inelastic demand. Yeah, guys, so that's just it with income elasticity of demand. So I think this table is very important. Also, keep in mind, Uti, when you look at this table, the normal good side is positive and this side is negative. So that would help you to see if the answer you get has a negative sign, then it's an inferior good. If the answer you get has a positive sign, it's a normal good. And then normal what is a normal necessity or normal luxury. Then the answer you got now will then tell you if it is less than 1, then it's a normal necessity. If it is greater than 1, then it's normal luxury. And then if it is normal luxury, the it has an elastic demand. If it is a necessity, it has an inelastic demand. If it is an inferior good, it has an inelastic demand as well, because inelastic is less than 1, which means it's this side, the whole of this side. Yeah, guys, that is all. So in my next video, we're just going to be doing the cross elasticity of demand. Thank you guys for watching my video and good luck on your preparation for the test. I wish you guys all the best.